session is focused around hip mobility. So we'll be doing some lunges in our standing poses. We're doing ego pose as our balance, and we'll be doing pigeon, a couple of hip openers throughout the seated sequence. I'll give loads of options as usual during the class, and if you have a belt, yoga belt, that would be great. Otherwise, just a towel or the belt of your bathrobe or a t-shirt will do. And we'll also use a block in a few poses, mainly one, but if you want to block, have one to hand. And that's pretty much it. If you have any pain, obviously stop moving. If there's any poses that you don't like, skip them or do another pose instead. This is your time, your yoga class, and your yoga practice, and do whatever feels good for you. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, let's start in child's pose, maybe with our knees about hip width apart, if that feels good. And our arms out in front of us, forehead on the mat. Or if you have a block, you could also place the block under your forehead, just to be a bit more elevated and maybe take a bit of the intensity out. Whatever feels good. And as we arrive in child's pose, we're going to start to breathe in and out through the nose. I'm going to try and stay with that breath throughout the class. Breathing in and out through the nose. And as we breathe, we're going to arrive on our mats in this moment, being present here now, not thinking about the week we've had, the day that's coming, the week that's coming. Just taking this hour 15 to be present within ourselves. And as we breathe, we feel our abdomen pressing against our thighs, expanding on the inhale. And on the exhale, we feel our abdomen move in, belly button moving towards the spine. Inhale, our abdomen expands like a balloon. Exhale, belly moves in, we're sinking deeper. Inhale, we're feeling our ribs move apart, our chest broaden, our back broaden. Exhale, our ribs are moving together as our lungs empty of air. Inhale, our ribs broaden, back gets broader, we lift maybe a little bit. And exhale as the ribs move together, maybe our chest, our ribs are sinking a bit closer to the ground. Inhale, our chest lifts, our collarbones lift, our shoulders lift a little bit. Exhale, our chest moves down, shoulders sink. Inhale, our shoulders lift, chest lifts. Exhale, we sink down. Now let's try to feel all of those parts of our breath, all those 3 parts in one. As we inhale, we feel our abdomen expand, ribs move apart, back broaden, and our chest and shoulders lift. And as we exhale, our shoulders and chest lower, our ribs move together and our abdomen moves in. Stay with this breath, this full yogic breath, for a couple of breaths in your own rhythm. By breathing like that, becoming aware of our breath, we're activating our full lungs, bringing loads of oxygen into our body, which is going to make us more alert. This is going to make our movements more possible
bringing oxygen to all our muscles. One more inhale here. And exhale. We're going to walk our left hand over to the right. We're going to stay in our child's pose. And we're just going to try and bring our left hand, left palm on top of the back of the right hand, so that the hands are on top of each other. If you have to move your head a little bit to allow for your shoulders to move, that's fine. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. Just pressing that left hand on the back of the right hand. By doing that, you're activating your shoulder and you're feeling a stretch in that left side body. Breathing here, staying with that deep, slow breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And one more breath. Alright, we're going to walk our left hand back to where it was. Just feel, you don't need to look. Just stay in center for one breath. And now we're going to walk our right hand over. Walk your fingers, a bit like the hand in Adam's family. Just walking your fingers. Now pressing your right palm onto the back of the left hand. Bring both hands on top of each other, maybe moving your head a little bit again. Sliding your nose over your mat. Pressing those hands into each other and breathing here. Feeling the stretch in that right shoulder, the right side body. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, feel how with the inhale that stretch becomes a little more intense. Exhale. One more breath here. And now we're going to gently walk our hand back to where it was. Leave it there for one breath. And exhale. Now we're going to bring our hands under our shoulders, slide them down one at a time, and press up into the kneeling position. Lovely. And let's come into tabletop right away. So, for tabletop, our hands are shoulder width apart, hands are under our shoulders, and our knees are hip width apart, feet are pointing back, toes pointed. And we're going to do our general wrist warm up that we do every class really. So we're going to just rock forward and back very gently, as much or as little as what you want. So you could go forward quite far and you could almost push back into a child's pose if you wanted, or you could just rock very gently in center. Just to wake up your wrists, get them used to having a little bit of weight in them, bringing movement into your arms. Lovely. Really nice, guys. Alright, let's come into center and stillness. And we're going to do the next wrist warm. So for that, we're going to turn our hands out so that our thumbs are pointing to the outside edge of our mat and our fingers are pointing to our knees. We're going to bring our hands quite a bit closer to our knees. We're going to do both hands at a time. So we're now stretching the inside of our forearms. We're going to rock very gently again here. It's going to be a much, much smaller movement. Maybe the heels of your hands are coming up. You really want to spread your fingers wide as a starfish, gently stretching the inside of your forearm. Really nice. Only doing this if it is comfortable and only moving as much or as little as you want today. Maybe one more rock here. And then we're going to come into center again. We're going to turn our hands back, sort of the standard way, fingers pointing forward. Now we're going to do one hand at a time. We're going to place the back of our hand on the mat so that our palm is facing us and our fingers are again pointing to our knees, thumbs are pointing inwards this time. One hand at a time, we're going to gently rock, really gently, stretching the back of our wrist, the back of our forearm. Again, our fingers are really nice and wide, and again, this is a really small movement, only moving as much or as little as is comfortable for you today. Let's do 2 more rocks here. And coming into center, we're going to stillness and we're going to turn that hand around back so that the palms on the mat just stay here for one moment, getting used to having weight in our hand again and doing the other side. So we're going to bring the back of our other hand to the mat, palm facing us, fingers pointing to our knees and thumb pointing inwards. And we're going to rock very gently here. Fingers nice and wide, trying to have all fingers in the side of the fingertip of the thumb in contact with the mat. Rocking very, very gently. If any of this doesn't feel good to you, then just stop. And maybe one more. Coming into center, stillness, and turning our hand around. Again, staying here for one moment. And let's sit on our knees, heels, kneeling, and just shake our hands out after that wrist warm up. Maybe stretching our arms out in front of us and doing rotations with our fists inwards a couple of times. And then the other direction. Really nice getting our wrists warm. We're all sitting at our home desks. So just waking your hands up and back into tabletop. You can always do that whenever your wrists are feeling a bit funny. What's working, you could just do it again if you fancy during the week. Alright, back in tabletop, so our hands are shoulder width apart, our wrists, elbows and shoulders are stacked on top of each other, our knees are hip width apart, our feet are pointing back, and we're going to come into our cat-cow. So for our cow, inhale, we're arching our spine, we're looking to the corner, to the ceiling, arching the spine, shoulder blades together, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, we're coming to our cat, rounding the spine, chin to chest, sucking our belly in, looking to our belly button, tilting the pelvis. Inhale, coming into our cow, arching the back, shoulder blades together. Maybe if it feels good, bending the elbows a tiny bit, really nice. Exhale. We're pushing the ground away, shoulder blades are pushing apart. Imagine the ground's being thrown at you and you're pushing it away. Pelvis is tilting in, chin to chest. And inhale. We're coming into our cow again, arching the spine really intensely as if there's a little baby elephant sitting on your lower back, really arching it. Exhale. We're pushing the ground away one more time. Sucking in the belly, looking to our tummy, chin to chest. Exhale, one more either way. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And at the end of the exhale, let's come into neutral spine, into our tabletop again. Lovely. Let's tuck our toes. And inhale, with the exhale, we're pushing, lifting our knees, and we're pushing into our first downward dog of the day. For downward dog, our hands are staying shoulder width apart, middle finger pointing forward, arms are straight, shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades still trying to push them, shoulder blades pushing apart. Aiming for a flat back. If that means that you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine, especially this early on. Our calves and hamstrings are still very tight now. Well, I assume mine are. And your toes are pointing forward, feet parallel to the sides of the mat, and we're envisaging pulling our heels close to the ground. The heels don't need to touch the ground, but just by pulling them down, imagining that they will touch the ground someday, we're activating our calves and our leg muscles. Your viewpoint is the space between your big toes. That's where your drishti is, your focus point.
Stay, and we're pressing into the whole hand. Pressing into the ball of the hand, but also where your fingers meet the hand and the knuckles of the fingers. Really nice firm grounding, protecting our wrists by using the whole hand. Stay here for a breath or two, noting how this feels, so that we come back into this really nicely set up down dog every time we get back to it. Alright, let's gently start walking our feet up towards our hands, baby steps, one step at a time, and stop with our feet hip width apart, behind our hands, about a hand length, hand width behind the hands. Let's just hang here, maybe bending our knees a little bit. Our hamstrings aren't warm yet. And let's sway if that feels good. You can either hold opposite elbows or you could drag your fingers over the ground as if you're drawing a rainbow with your fingers. Bring some more movement into our back. We already activated it with our cat-cow. Really nice, everyone. Gentle movement. And next time you're in center, let's stop there. Bend our knees so much that our abdomen is in contact with it, our full abdomen, even our ribs are in touch with our thighs. We're going to bring our chin to our chest. We're going to roll up gently. We're going to roll through our spine first. Our chin's the last thing that lifts. Straightening your legs, rolling up. Gently, gently, shoulders up, back and down, and we're lifting our chest. Wonderful. Really nice, everyone. Let's come to the front of our mat. Now we're going to come into our starting pose for our sun salutations, which is Tadasana, mountain pose. You can either have your feet hip width apart if you prefer, or feet touching, toes touching, wherever you are, lifting all our toes into the air, spreading them wide like a fan, and trying to lower them one at a time. So lowering the little toes, the fourth toe, middle toe, second toe, and big toe. So we might be seeing a little bit of space between our toes. Also, if that feels good, lifting your heels a little bit and placing them down. I quite like that. Now we've got a really nice firm grounding. We're tucking our pelvis a little bit, so it's just a tiny movement from that sort of duck bum to tucking it nice and flat back, engaging our core, nice firm middle when we're going into our front forward folds, rolling our shoulders up, back and down. By rolling them down, we're already opening our chest, palms facing forward. We're looking right in front of us. Imagine someone's pulling you by the top of your head, nice, standing up tall, but tucking the chin a tiny bit to have a nice flat neck. Stand here for a moment. In our Tadasana, maybe even closing the eyes if that feels good for one breath. Alright, opening the eyes if you close them. We can start in here with raising our arms overhead, either shoulder width apart or hands touching, shoulders away from the ears, pulling the shoulders down, looking to your thumbs or looking straight ahead. Exhale, folding down, flat back, engaging those abs. Hands either side of the feet, knees bend if you want to, for a full forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, we're straightening our legs, hands to shins, half forward fold, nice flat back. Imagine someone is putting a drinks tray on there and you don't want any of the drinks to spill. Exhale, hands down. We're going to step back with the right foot and we're going to stay in this low lunge for one. Breathing here. Really nice. Breathe, feeling maybe a stretch in your hips. Alright, and for the next exhale, stepping back with the left foot as well into a nice firm plank. Hands are pushing the ground away. Shoulder blades are pushing apart. The arm shape here, so the capital U, is very, very similar to our arms in downward dog. Our heels are pulling back, nice flat back. Inhale. On the exhale, we're lowering our knees, our chest and our chin
down to the ground. Our bum is up in the air for Ashtangasana, 8-point pose. And on the inhale, we're sliding forward. We're untucking our toes. Elbows are into our body, chest is lifted. We're looking forward. Full Cobra, Bhujangasana. Inhale and exhale. We're tucking the toes. We're pushing back into a downward dog. If your downward dog is a little long, you can step your feet in here. Bring them a bit closer. And again, pushing into your hands, pushing into the whole hand, palm, ball of the hand, fingers, knuckles, shoulders away from the ears, shoulders broad, flat back, maybe bending the knees, toes pointing forward. Stay here for a few more breaths. Inhale, let's step our right foot in between our hands. We're staying in the slow lunge again. The right foot in between our hands now. Staying here, hands either side of the feet, and breathing here. Really pulling the heel of the back foot, of the left foot back, engaging that back leg. Really nice, everyone. And on the next inhale, we're going to press into our hands. We're going to bring our left foot next to the right foot. Exhale, inhale, hands to shins, looking down, half forward fold. And exhale, hands either side of the feet, full forward fold, bending the knees again if you need to. And on the inhale, engaging our core, coming up with a flat back, hands together overhead, and exhale, hands into heart center. Very nice. Other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding down, engaging the core. Hands either side of the feet. Inhale, half forward fold, hands to shins, looking down right where our nose, sort of, if there was a laser pointer from our nose, where the nose would go on the floor. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left foot now. Staying this high lunge, pulling the left heel back again. Staying for a few breaths. We're working on our hips today. Opening our hips. Bring mobility into them. On the next exhale, we're stepping back with the right foot, coming into a nice firm plank. Again, pushing the ground away, shoulder blades away from each other, pulling those heels back. Inhale, exhale, knees, chest, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward, we're untucking the toes into our Cobra. Our back is working, shoulder blades together, elbows into the body, really nice. Exhale, we're tucking the toes and pushing back into our downward dog again. Stepping the feet in if you need to, or want to. And coming back into our down dog. Pressing into the hands and looking between the space between our big toes. Breathing in and out through the nose. Feel how your body lengthens with the inhale and sinks maybe with the exhale. Next inhale, we're stepping that left foot in between our hands. Staying here again in our low lunge. The right heel now pulling back. Just looking down, so just in its space in front of that foot, the left foot now. Breathing in and out through the nose. Not too much weight in your hands. If you wanted, you could actually lift your hands. Your legs are doing most of the work. Alright, inhale, we're stepping forward, pressing into the hands. Exhale, left, right foot next to left foot. Inhale, hands to shins, looking down, flat back for our half forward fold. And exhale, hands either side of the feet, full forward fold. And inhale, engaging the core, coming up with a nice flat back. And hands to heart center. All right. Going to do another one. And let's have a look what I was planning. Oh yeah. All right, great. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, we're folding down. Inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold, looking down. Exhale, hands down, we're stepping back with the right foot. And we're staying here in our low lunge again, pulling the right heel back, breathing here for 2. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Staying here for a moment, but with the inhale we're going to raise our left hand up, coming into easy twist, opening our chest to the left. Pushing into the right hand, trying to stack our shoulders on top of each other. If you want, you can look to the top hand, or if that's not comfortable for your neck, just look straight ahead. Breathing here. And with the next exhale, we're placing our left hand next to our left foot. Inhale and exhale, stepping back with the left foot into plank, pushing the ground away, shoulder blades away from each other, heels pushing back. Inhale and exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward into our Cobra, staying here for 1 breath. And exhale, we're tucking our toes and we're pushing back again into our downward dog. Lovely. Well done, guys. Breathe here, we're warming up. Inhale, pushing into your hands. Maybe see if you can bring your heels, straighten those legs a tiny bit more, heels a little closer to the ground. As I said, it's not important if they get to the ground, but just working those legs a little more. Breathing in and out through the nose. Alright, with the next inhale, we're stepping the right foot in between our hands. We're staying in our, we're coming up actually into a high lunge. We're lifting the hands up, coming up, really nice. We're on the ball of the back foot. The front knee is above the ankle. We don't want to push our knee forward. That's not great for our knees. So staying here, arms, hands can be shoulder width apart or palms touching, depending on what you prefer. Ooh, working our balance here as well. And either looking straight ahead, could look to the ceiling, but looking straight ahead is perfectly fine, lovely as well. And with the next exhale, hands down, and we're stepping forward with the right foot. Inhale, exhale here, and inhaling, hands to shins, looking down, half forward fold. And exhale, hands down, full forward fold. Maybe straightening those legs a tiny bit more as we're getting warmer. And inhale, engaging the core, coming up into a standing pose. And exhale, hands into heart center. Fantastic, lovely. Other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands are folding down, full forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Hands to shins, looking down. Exhale, hands down. We're stepping back with the left foot now. We're staying in our low lunge for a moment. Inhaling here and exhaling, breathing in and out through the nose. And now with the next inhale, we're going to raise our right arm up. I'm going to press into our left hand. Again, trying to stack our shoulders on top of each other, but still trying to keep our hips nice and in line. And pulling that back heel back a little bit. Really nice, everyone. Lovely. And with the next exhale, we're bringing that right hand down to the side of the left foot, the right foot. Inhale. And exhale, stepping back with the right foot into our plank, Pushing the ground away again. Inhale and exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding into our Cobra. Chest lifted up, lower ribs are in contact with the ground. Elbows into the body, toes are pointing back. Inhale, exhale, tucking the toes. We're pushing into our down dog. Maybe stepping those feet in, pushing into our hands. We're breathing in and out through the nose. If you're losing contact with your breath during those movements, that's fine. Whenever we come into down dog, try to connect to your breath again. In and out through the nose, breathing mindfully. Inhale, we're stepping forward with the left foot between the hands. And inhale, we're coming up into our high lunge. Lovely. Again, working our balance a bit, making sure that our knee is above the ankle, not over it. It can be a little bit back, that's fine, but definitely not in front of it. Hips are on top of each other, shoulders are on top of the hips, hands towards the ceiling. Maybe imagine that almost like your fingertips are trying to touch the ceiling, really engaging, but also not punching the shoulders up too much, just really engaging the arms here. Looking great, guys. And hands down either side of the front foot with the next exhale. Inhale, we're stepping forward. Exhale, feet next to each other. Inhale, hands to shins, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Maybe straightening those legs a tiny bit more. Inhale, we're engaging our core and we're coming up. Hands over hand, and exhale, hands into heart center. Fantastic. All right, we're going to do one more sun salutation on both sides, adding another pose. So let's come into Tadasana. Feet together. Alright, and inhale, we're raising arms. Exhale, we're folding down, full forward fold. Hands on the side of the feet. Straighten the legs as much as you can and as much as feels good. Inhale, half forward fold. Hands to shins, or if you're warm enough now, you could bring fingertips to mat. Inhale, exhale, hands down, stepping back with the right foot into our low lunge, staying for 2 breaths. With the next inhale, we're doing our twist again. Left arm lifts, opening our chest, stacking our shoulders on top of each other, really nice. Again, imagine that you're trying to touch the ceiling, your arms really straight, you're engaging your fingers. Everything is doing yoga, not just your legs, but also your hands, your eyes are looking either to your top hand or just straight ahead, but try to focus on something. Your eyes are doing yoga. Alright, exhale, left hand next to left foot. Inhale here and exhale, we're stepping back into our plank. Pushing the ground away, heels pushing back, in really strong. Inhale, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. 8-point pose, Ashtanga. Inhale, we're sliding forward, elbows into the body, chest lifted, toes pointing back, Cobra. Inhale, exhale, we're tucking the toes and we're pushing back. Stepping the feet in if we need to, or want to. Into our down dog, breathing in and out through the nose. Staying for 5 breaths. Inhale, we're stepping the right foot in between our hands. And on the next inhale, we're coming up into a high lunge. Lovely. Again, working our balance when we come up. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And what we're going to do next is we're going to bring the sole of our back foot down. And as we do that, we're twisting our body and we're coming into our warrior 2. So the sole of our left foot is now the whole sole in contact with the mat. We're staying with the front knee bend. Arms are on shoulder level, at shoulder level, fingers pointing forward. You want to have a body nice and flat, in line with the long edge of your mat. And your drishti, your focus point, is your front middle finger, the right middle finger here. Really nice, strong legs. If your legs get a bit screaming at you, you could straighten that front leg and then bend it again. Alright, inhale, we're going to come back into our high lunge, so pivoting again onto that ball of the front foot. One breath in our high lunge. Well done, everyone. And exhale, hands down either side of the right foot, and we're stepping forward. Inhale with that left foot. Exhale. Inhale, half forward fold, hands either to the shins or fingertips to mat. And exhale, folding down, fall forward, fold. And inhale, coming out with a flat back. And exhale, hands into heart center. Lovely. Same thing on the other side. You know what's coming now, so it's going to be a little easier. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale, folding down. Nice straight legs. Inhale, half forward fold, fingertips to mat or hands to shins, whatever feels good. Exhale, hands down, stepping back with the left foot. Staying in our low lunge here. And staying here for 2 breaths with hands either side of the front foot. Alright, inhale, we're lifting the right hand now into our easy twist. Trying to stack our shoulders on top of each other, pulling that back heel back. Looking to the front, top hand to the right hand, or just looking straight ahead, but finding a drishti, finding a focus point. With the next exhale, placing the right hand next to the right foot again. Inhale, exhale, we're stepping back into our plank. Pushing the ground away, heels pulling back. Inhale, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, we're sliding forward, coming into our Cobra, pointing the toes back, chest is lifted, elbows into the body. And with the exhale, we're tucking our toes, we're pushing back into our downward dog. Stepping the feet in if you like. And exhale. Connecting with our breath again, in and out through the nose. Using our breath as an anchor as we move through the poses. And maybe as we move through life. Inhale, we're stepping the left foot now in between our hands. And we're coming up into a high lunge, working our balance. Inhale, staying here for 2 to 3 breaths. Pulling that back leg back. Really nice, nice work. Alright, and now we're going to try and pivot that back foot so that we turn it around, placing the whole sole of the foot onto the ground and coming into our warrior 2. Again, our body is nice and flat in line with the long edge of your mat. If you look down on your chest, the right shoulder is not pulling forward. Both shoulders are next to each other. Arms are at shoulder level. You're central in your body. So imagine someone's pulling you by the front hand, pulling you by the back hand, and you'll end up in a perfect equilibrium right in the middle. Looking to the middle finger of the left hand if that feels comfortable, or straight ahead, but finding some point to focus on. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Doing really well. Nice, strong warriors there. Alright, inhale, we're going to try and pivot on our back foot on the ball of the foot back into a high lunge. Working our balance. Staying for one breath, inhale. And exhale, hands down, stepping forward. In between our feet. Right foot meets the left foot. Exhale. Inhale, hands to shins or fingertips to mat for a half forward fold. And exhale, full forward fold. Maybe bend, stretching those legs a tiny bit more. Last one. Inhale, coming up flat back. Exhale, hands into heart center. Alright, lovely. Well done. Hopefully we're all a bit warm now. And we're going to come to our balance. For our balance today, I was planning to do eagle pose. So for eagle pose, I'll show that in a moment. If you have like a wall or anything or a chair near you, you can always use that when you get into your balance to help you if you're feeling a bit wobbly. Alright, and for eagle, we're going to start. Let's stand again in our Tadasana. So let's bring our feet together again, lifting our toes up into the air, lowering them one at a time, maybe seeing a little bit of mat, lifting our heels again, placing them down. Standing really nice and firm here. We're going to bend our knees a tiny bit. And now, if you have a chair or anything, if you want to see how wobbly you are, we're going to lift the right foot. And we're going to bring the right thigh over the left thigh. So we're crossing over here. And now we're going to see if we can maybe bring the toes of the right foot behind the calf of the left. Sort of doing like a double twist. So the right leg is over the left and then bringing the feet of the right behind calf. If that's not possible, totally fine, just stay here. All right, now it gets tricky. Left hand touches right shoulder. And we're going to bring the right arm around the left elbow. And we're going to come into eagle arms. You can either have the backs of the forearms together, or if you can, bring the palms of the hands together. And we're staying here for a few breaths. Wherever we are, really working those legs, working those feet, but also stretching the shoulders. And we're going to release our arms and come out as elegantly as we can, or not, and that's fine as well. Let's shake out that standing foot, that left foot. All right, other side. All right, again, let's feet together, lifting our toes up, giving ourselves the same chance on the other foot. Bringing our toes down one at a time, lifting our heels, placing them down. Wonderful. Bending our knees a little bit. Going to lift our left leg now up. Going to cross the left thigh over the right thigh. Again, we can see if we can maybe sneak those left toes around the right calf. If you can't, don't worry, this is brilliant. Now we're going to touch our right hand to our left shoulder. Left arm goes around the right elbow and either bring the back of the forearms together, or if you can, the palms together. And staying here, wherever we are. If you lose your balance, fine, that's the point of what we're doing. Challenging our balance, working our legs. Staying here for 2 more breaths, wherever we are. And releasing our legs, releasing the arms, shaking out that right foot now. Well done. Maybe rolling our shoulders. Oh God. There's an absolute snowstorm where I am. Not snowstorm, but really nice fluffy snowflakes. No sun's not coming out with our sun salutations today for me. All right, let's come to the floor. We're going to move through one last vinyasa. So it wasn't the last forward fold. Sorry, I was lying a moment ago. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're folding down gently. Inhale, half forward fold, fingertips to mat or palms to shin. Hands down on the exhale, stepping back with whatever foot you want, coming into our plank. Inhale here, exhale, knees down, chest down, chin down. Inhale, sliding forward. And exhale, we're pushing into our down dog. What we're doing here is, inhale, we're lifting that right leg up into the ceiling. And exhale, we're going to bring our knee in. I'm going to place the right foot behind the left hand, the right knee behind the right hand. So our leg is now behind our hands, more or less parallel to the front of the mat. I'm going to walk our back leg back a little bit maybe. We're going to come into Pigeon, Garudasana. I'm going to stay here for a moment. Inhale, exhale. And you can stay here, and the tip on Pigeon, the more parallel your shin is with the front of your mat, the harder, the more intense this glute stretch is going to be. So if this is a little bit much, just bring your foot in a little bit, closer to your groin, and that will take a lot of it out. Wherever you are, inhale, and you can either stay here, or if you want, come onto your forearms. Really nice. You could also, if you've got your block, place that under your right glute if it's above the ground a lot. That takes, again, a little bit of extra support here. And if you like it here, you stay here. If you want, you could also put your arms out in front of you or make a pillow out of your hands and come down with your chest closer to the ground, going a little more intensely into this pose. But wherever you are, whether it's on your forearms or in your hands, it's all brilliant. Just stretching here. This is a great stretch for your glutes and fantastic for runners. I haven't been doing this in a while and I can feel it's a lot harder now, a lot more intense. But we're breathing in and out through the nose. Using this breath to help us in this pose. Stay for 2 more breaths wherever we are, in whichever version we are. Alright, inhale. If you come down, let's bring our hands, come back onto our forearms. Bring our hands under our shoulders, pressing into our shoulders. Stay here for 1 breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let's tuck our toes, bring off the back foot, bring the left toes down, lifting the left leg and stepping back with the right foot into a plank and then pushing into our down dog. Stay here for 1 moment. Maybe noticing how our glutes feel different now that one has been stretched and the other one hasn't. Inhale, we're lifting our left leg up into the ceiling. And exhale, we bring the knee in. We're going to bring the left foot behind the right hand, left knee behind the left hand. Right knee down, and we're going to walk, if we want, our right foot back a little bit. We're in our Pigeon on the other side. And here will obviously a little bit better. If you have a block, you could literally place it under your thigh, under your glute, to give you a little bit of extra support there, if that feels good. Don't use it. If you don't have it, it's fine as well. If you don't like it, never mind. Stay here for 1 breath or 2. Already starting to feel that glute stretch. If you want to go a little bit deeper, placing our hands in front of us and coming onto our forearms. Breathing here. You don't need to come to this pose, or this version of this pose, variation. And if you want, you could stretch your arms out or make a pillow of your hands and go a little further. But again, no need. If you want to be on your forearms, great. If you want to be on your hands up here, fantastic. Wherever we are, you can stay for a moment. Feeling that stretch in our glutes. Wherever we are, we're going to bring your arms stretched out. Let's bring our arms back. Coming onto our forearms, bring our hands under our shoulders. Let's stay here for another moment. Lovely. Let's tuck our right toes, lift that right knee, and step back with the left foot in a plank, pushing into our down dog. Let's stay here for 1 breath again, and feel again how your sides differ. Maybe there's a bit of heat, warmth in your left leg now. Wonderful. Alright, bring our knees down to the ground. We're going to sit on our heels for a moment. We'll come into a brief child's pose. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. We would deserve this little pause. We always deserve pauses. Alright, let's bring our hands under our shoulders and pressing into the hands. Sliding onto your side. I'm going to come into seated with our legs out in front of us. Wonderful. Here you could either use a block and sit on that if you prefer, if that helps you a little bit to sit upright. Or you could just get a little cushion. It's tucked in. You could also sit on that. That will elevate your seat a little bit, and maybe that helps you to sit up nice and tall. Don't feel you need to use it, but if it feels good, then use it. Do whatever feels good to you. It's your yoga practice. All right, we're going to come into our seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You could also have a belt if you have one. Bring that around your feet. Whoop. Like this, sort of around the ball of your foot. I'm going to sit here. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall, shoulders over hips. And exhale, we're folding down. We're hinging from our hip. We're not rounding the spine. We're staying with a nice flat spine. And wherever you can get to, stay wherever it is for you today. If it is here, that's fantastic. If it is further down, great. If you don't have a belt, you could also just bend your knees, and that will do it for you. Wonderful as well. It's actually quite a nice one, maybe a bit more restorative with your bent knees. Or if you don't need a belt, you could also hold your calves, ankles, feet, whatever you want to do. Keep your chest nice and open. Your focus point, your drishti, are your big toes. In and out through the nose. Alright, inhale, coming up a little bit, and exhale, we're sliding up, we're sitting up tall again. Maybe letting go of that belt for a moment if you've got one. I'm going to bring our right foot in, so we've got like a figure 4 here. The right knee is bent, sole of the right foot is against the inner thigh of the left. I'm going to come into our Janashasana, or our head to knee pose. For that, tendency is that if we sit like that, our chest will be pointing between our legs. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do a little twist so that our chest is pointing towards that straight leg. The foot of the straight leg of the left leg is flexed, so the foot is doing yoga as well. Again, if you've got a belt, should possibly still be in the right position. Grab your belt if you want, inhale, sitting up nice and tall again, and exhale, we're folding down, hinging from the hip, flat back, open chest. So what I mean with open chest is we're not doing this, hinging our shoulders up, but we're keeping our chest nice and open, wherever we need to hold for that. If that has to be your calf, or if the belt is quite high, that's fine. We're doing yoga for us, not for anyone else. Wherever we are, we're staying here for a couple of breaths. Alright, inhale, we're looking up, and exhale, we're sliding up. We're now going to bring our left leg in, so that we bring the soles of our feet together. Wherever you have to be, whether your feet are quite far away from your groin, we have a diamond shape between our legs. If you can bring your feet a little closer, that's great, but you don't have to bring them very close. Whatever is comfortable for you. Again, if you've got a block, maybe even if you have 2, you could also bring that under your knees as a little bit of extra support. But again, you don't have to. Pulling my mat in. Wherever we are, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, and then we're going to bring our hands around our feet. The thumbs are on the ball of the foot,
And we're going to see if we can open our feet a bit like the pages of a book. Just pull them a bit open. That helps us to open our hips a little bit. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, open chest, pulling the shoulders back. And sitting here for a moment. Alright, sitting together, maybe giving ourselves a little hug. You could even lift your feet off the floor if you want. A little cosmic egg here. One of my yoga teachers used to call it, a bit like that picture. Sitting here for one breath. And bring our feet down and let's stretch our legs out in front of us again. One more time for Paschimottanasana, for a seated forward fold. So if we've got our belt still handy, belt around the balls of our feet, sitting up nice and tall, inhale and exhale, falling forward. Alright, inhale, coming up and letting go of that belt. And what we're now doing, maybe take your belt to the side, is we're going to sit with legs wide. We're going to do a little wide-legged forward fold, but we don't need two belts for this. We're just going to place our hands on the floor. Here again, if you find that just by sitting like that, you sort of, I don't know, you're not feeling very centric, you feel like can't really well sit with your, sit up tall, you could get your little cushion, elevate your seat, and maybe that will help to sit up a bit straighter. Here we are going to, we've got that flexing of the foot, where our foot is really intensely flexed, or we can point our foot very intensely. But here we want to be somewhere in the middle, so that as much of our calves are not too engaged as they are when they're flexed, or when they're pointed, so that our calves are nice, we've got good contact between our calves and the ground. We're going to sit here, hands either between our legs, but if you find that sort of like you don't feel very good in your back, you can also have your hands behind your back, like so. Inhale, and just sit here for a couple of moments, or if your hands are between your legs, inhale, and maybe try if you can walk your hands out in front of you a little bit. Again, try not to round your back too much like this, try to stay relatively flat back. Obviously at some point you have to bend your back a tiny bit. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Really nice. This is such a difficult pose, like working our hips, it's working our thighs, working our back, quads, hamstrings. And staying here with our breath, accepting where we are, not demanding of our body. Alright, if your hands were out in front of you, if you walk them out a little bit, bring them gently back. Bring your legs together in front of you, bend them in. Let's hug ourselves again. Little cosmic egg. Or just holding wherever we can. Alright, let's come out of this. Bring the soles of our feet together again for one more Cobbler pose, wherever we are. Baddha Konasana, whether that's far away or a bit closer. It's all brilliant. Just sitting here. Let's butterfly our knees. A little bit of a more active, a bit more active stretch. I don't think it's what I'm looking for. Dynamic, that's the word I'm looking for. Dynamic stretch by moving it. Alright. And stopping wherever we are. Coming into stillness. We're going to do that wide-legged forward fold one more time. A bit warmer now maybe, so bring our legs as wide as we can. If this is as wide as we can bring our legs, that's brilliant. Can bring them a little bit wider, that's also good, but no one's expecting a split here. Alright, again, sitting up as tall as we can, maybe bringing our hands behind us for a moment. And if you want to sit here, fantastic, it's lovely. Or you could place your hands between your legs, maybe walk them forward a tiny bit.
And staying here for another couple of breaths. Alright, let's walk our hands back closer to our body. If we put them in front of us, bring those legs together, bringing them in and hugging ourselves one more time. Alright, lovely. If you've got your belt on your side, let's bring that out of the way. We don't need the belt anymore, don't need the cushion either, but let's have our block near us. Let's put that to the side. We're going to bring our knees so that they're pointing to the ceiling. We're going to gently, gently, gently roll down on our back. Move my knot here. Alright, we're lying on our back, knees are pointing to the ceiling, and knees are pointing to the ceiling, feet are hip width apart, knees are hip width apart. Our arms are either side by our body, and we're going to come into a little bridge. So what I mean with bridges, we're going to lift up like this. But let's do it together. So arms are by the side of the body, palms into the ground. Inhale, exhale here. With the next inhale, we're going to tilt our pelvis and we're going to lift our lower back, our middle back, our upper back. We're going to push our hips to the ceiling, but we're also going to push our chest to our chin. And let's stay here like this with our palms into the mat. Stay here for 3 breaths. If this doesn't feel good, if you don't want to stay for 3 breaths, come out sooner. Alright, with the next exhale, we're going to gently roll down our upper back, bring our middle back down, our lower back, and place our pelvis down. Almost imagine it's a pearl necklace that you're rolling down, one pearl at a time. Bring your knees to your chest, either hands onto your knees, or maybe you could grab your hands and just rock from side to side, relieving your back. And place, coming into center, placing your feet down again. We're going to do 2 more versions of this. The next one is going to be a little bit more intense than the last one, but don't feel you have to do it. Just do what you want to do. Going to inhale, exhale here. And with the next inhale, we're tilting our pelvis, lifting the middle back, lower back, middle back, upper back. Coming here into this pose, hips to ceiling, chest to chin. Now, if you want, you could see if you can grab your hands under your back. Maybe even bring the heels of the hands, the whole palm in contact. If you want, you could try to roll onto the balls of your shoulders. No need though, it's a bit difficult not being able to adjust through Zoom here. I'd love to lift you up a little bit. And stay here for another 2 breaths. Inhale, you can only breathe into your top lungs here, so it won't be super deep breaths. Alright, if you hold clasping your palms, letting go of it, bring your arms back to the side of the body, palms next to you. Inhale, exhale, bring your upper back down, lower back, middle back, lower back, and pelvis. Alright, let's bring our knees into our body, grabbing your hands around the shins if you can, or just holding the knees and rocking here. Again, releasing the lower back. Coming into center, feet down again, and now we're going to have last one's going to be a really delicious passive bridge. So we're going to, again, hands either side of the body, maybe grab your block into one hand. Inhale, lifting our pelvis, and we're going to slide that block under our glutes, so that bony bit of the lower back. And then placing our bum, our glutes, onto the block. We're going to lie on the flat bit of the block, and we're just going to lie here for a moment. If you want, you can turn your palms to face the ceiling, opening your chest a little bit. Just relaxing here. Very gentle little inversion, very gentle back bend, but so wonderful. Slowing our breath down, slowing our practice down. Coming back. And inhale, we're pressing into our feet, lifting our hips up, taking that block to the side. We won't be needing it anymore. Bringing our glutes down. We're going to bring our knees into our chest again. Maybe holding the knees or hands around the shins. We're rocking again from side to side. Massaging our lower back, massaging our upper back. Maybe massaging the kidneys a little bit. Alright. When you're next on the right side, we're going to drop our knees to the right, both knees on top of each other. And as we're lying here with our knees to the right, we're bringing our arms into a capital T pose. Arms stretched out at shoulder level. Maybe have a look either side, if they are at shoulder level. Turning the palms to face up. We're going to look, if comfortable for your neck, to the opposite side, the left hand, and closing the eyes here. If that's not comfortable for your neck, just looking up and closing the eyes. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Lovely little twist. Trying to keep both shoulder blades in contact with the ground if we can. Could lift your knees up a little bit if that's a little bit intense. You can bring that block that we just had under your knees if you wanted to. The next inhale, we'll bring our knees into the center. You could help those knees with the right hand. And exhale, we're dropping the knees to the left. Arms still capital T at shoulder level. Have a look either side because we've now moved, but they're still shoulder level. Looking to the right palm now, opposite side, or to the ceiling and closing the eyes. Breathing here again, trying to have both shoulder blades somewhat in contact with the ground. Alright, with the next inhale, we'll bring our knees back into center. Maybe hugging them one more time, rocking from side to side. If you wanted, you could also come into happy baby pose. For that, we're bringing our feet apart, knees are bent, legs are wide, and you either hold your calf, you can hold your ankle, or you can hold your feet. We're going to, wherever we hold, we're trying to pull our thighs closer to our body. Coming to this happy baby pose, if it feels good, obviously. If you don't like how it feels on your back, on your feet, on your legs, on your arms, your shoulders, then just don't do it. If you're in happy baby, you could try to rock around here, play around. If you really flop over to one side like I have now, you could just pull on the opposite foot to get yourself back into center. Rocking from side to side like a happy baby. This pose always makes me smile. The name does, how it feels, just the rocking, it's just a fun pose. Alright, coming to center, letting go of your feet. We're going to straighten our legs, we're lying down on our back. I'm going to come into our final relaxation. We're going to come into Shavasana or corpse pose, where you can have your feet are hip to mat width apart, feet are falling out. We've worked our hips quite a lot today, so if you wanted, you could also come into a reclining Cobbler pose, where you have the soles of your feet touching. Again, you can have the feet as close or as far away from your body, from your groin, from your bum as you want. But Shavasana is wonderful as a relaxation. Wherever you feel, whatever you feel like today. In both poses, your arms are either side of your body, about 3+ inches away from your body, 15, 20 centimeters. The palms are facing up. We bring our shoulder blades a tiny bit together to open our chest. Our neck is flat, so our chin is a tiny bit tucked again to have that nice flat neck. We're closing our eyes. We're coming to that really nice and relaxed breath. And maybe relaxing our back as well. I sometimes, when I first lie down in Shavasana, I feel like there's a bit of an arch in my back, so just relax, bring your back down to the ground. And breathing here. Relaxing your face, your forehead, all the muscles in your body, no tension. If you have a blanket or a jumper, if you want to be cozy, you could put that on. And just notice where your body is in contact with the ground. Your glutes are heavy on the ground. Pressing into the mat. Relaxed. Such a strong muscle. Such strong muscles in our glutes and our bum. We should be thankful for them. They help us to walk, stand up, to jump. It's like gratitude for what your body can do rather than a criticism that we've been taught to have. Maybe our thighs are in contact with the ground as well. Strong thighs that allow us to run fast, allow us to walk slow, allow us to sit, take the stairs. Our calves are also in contact with the ground. They also do so much for us, helping us sprint, helping us kick. Our heels are pressing on the ground. Our feet are so important to us. We don't think of them that much. We stand on them all the time. Our toes help us to balance. When the toes are in the air, gently floating. The soles of the feet are feeling the cool air against them. Our knees pointing to the ceiling, not having to do anything right now, but doing so much for us during the day. What would we do if we couldn't bend our legs? We need it so much. And they're such delicate joints. We have to look after them. Our hips are nice and open. Legs are falling out. Hips allow us to sit cross-legged, roll our legs, move them in various directions when we play, when we run. Our abdomen is moving with our breath. The belly, where so many of our organs live, where we digest our food, that keeps us alive. Some parts of our reproductive organs as women, that's where they live, keeping us well. Should be grateful. Our gut feeling lives there too. I'm sure so many of us know how important it is, having gone against it and learned that we should have listened to it in the first place. That we've learned. Our lower back is hovering off the ground. Again, so delicate. We don't want to have back issues. We want to keep that back safe. And movement, yoga, any exercise is helping us with that. Staying strong, staying mobile. Our upper back and shoulders are in contact with the ground, allowing us to stand proud, chest open, facing the world. Our chest moving with every breath. Maybe gently feeling our heartbeat as we lie here. We don't have to do anything to our heart so that it keeps going on. It keeps us alive. With gratitude for our heart. Our upper arms are in contact with the ground. They make us strong. We can lift things. We can push. We can push ourselves up. We can lower things down. Our elbows can allow us to bend our arms, move our arms around, whether it's for push-ups, pull-ups, or just the average movements of the day. The lower arms are also in contact with the ground, gently lying there. They need to be strong, and they are strong. The backs of our hands are on the ground, fingers floating in the air, palms feeling the cool air against them. Our hands do so much for us. We write with them, we type with them, we chop with them, we make our food, we eat our food with the help of them. Our neck, nice and soft, holding such a heavy weight at all times when we're standing. Our head, so heavy, the back of the head against the ground. It's carrying our brain. Whether you think it holds our personality or not, but it is so important for all our decision making. So much thinking going on, we almost can't stop us. And maybe during our yoga practice we can slow down and relax. Trying to relax our face, relax our forehead, relax our eyes. I'm working so hard to see everything, see what's coming, see what is, see what could be. Inhaling and exhaling through our nose, feeling the cool air come in on the inhale. And the warm, moist air flowing out on the exhale. Smelling with our nose all the lovely things we smell. Also the not so nice things that we smell. All of that is a part of life. Relaxing our jaw. A little bit of gap between our teeth, our tongue, lying in the mouth, not glued to the roof of the mouth. Not having to talk right now. Not having to hold any tension. Just relaxed. Our whole body is relaxed after our movement. Our whole body is at peace, or at least trying to. Let's try to be grateful for our body. It's always there for us, unconditionally. Let's try to appreciate it unconditionally. We don't always have to love our bodies. We don't always have to love the people in our lives or ourselves. We have to, but just appreciate them. Appreciate that your body's there, that the people are there, that you are here.
Drift back. Maybe take a deep breath. And sigh on the exhale if that feels good. Start bringing a bit of movement into your body, your fingers, your toes, your ankles and wrists. Bringing your legs together, bring your arms over your head. Let's do a full body stretch, pulling your fingers away, pointing your toes like crazy. And let go. Bring your knees into your body, touching your knees or hugging your shins and maybe rocking from side to side again. And when you're on the right, drop your knees to the right. Bring your head onto your right upper arm as a pillow. Stay here for one breath. In this little fetal-ish position. And let's bring our left hand in front of our face. Push into that left hand. Gently walk yourself up. Coming into a nice, relaxed, seated position. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit kneeling, whatever feels good to you today. And sit here. Bring your hands, the back of your hands in your seat, on your knees, on your thighs, wherever it feels good. Just close our eyes here for one more moment. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're going to make a nice big circle with our arms. Exhale, we're pulling our hands down. Let's do one more, two more of those. Inhale, nice big circle, hands touching overhead. Exhale, pulling our hands down, pulling them through custard very slowly. Inhale, one more circle. Exhale, pulling our hands down. Lovely. Alright, we're going to bring our thumbs to the space between our eyebrows, to our third eye, for clear and kind thoughts. Thumbs to our throat, for clear and kind words. And thumbs to our heart center, for clear and kind feelings, for us, for others, and for ourselves. Let's bow with gratitude to the practice of yoga. If you want, you don't have to bow. And with gratitude to ourselves for moving today. Thank you so much for joining me.